First thing you want to do, make sure is disconnect the battery, just negative lead. Remember, whenever you disconnect the battery, you want your window rolled down a little bit so it doesn't damage it if you're going to open and close the door. In here, in order to get to the OBD2 reader, OBD2 port rather, it's just all the way under here. You can see I took the panels off. You don't have to, but this is your OBD2 port. You don't have to take these panels off, like I was saying, but it's a lot easier if you do. So if you're gonna take the panels off, you gotta take this side panel off right here, this one, like that, and pop that side panel off. And there's one screw right here, and then there's another screw down at the bottom over here, and you can take the whole panel off here and then take the metal panel off. There's two screws, one there and one there. Well, these are Phillips head. These are Phillips or 10 millimeter. Make sure, so all these connectors, it's just a little tab on them to push to pull the connector off, just like that. And this tab is right here. This one, if you got the 10 series like I do, you have an extra switch. Same thing, there's a tab there. And then the kit that I'm using is the, you see that right there, OBD2 port kit from iWire. Yeah, so iWire, I'll link it in the description. But this is everything the kit comes with. So I've already put it together, but it's got a new OBD2 port already wired up. It comes with all the little crimp connectors. You've got to put them on yourself. It doesn't come with them on, but that's no problem. So actually rewiring this, you're gonna have to get your ass all the way in here. It's a pain, really. There's a lot of electrical tape on here. I cut it off already. Just be careful when you're doing that. Don't cut yourself or another wire. Oh, and this is actually sitting in this metal bracket. All you got to do is push in the tabs on the side. I'll show you on this one. So these tabs on this side, this black tab and that black tab, you just got to push them in to work that out, and then you can pop it out of there and start cutting wires and splicing. So you can either cut them all at once and then you're gonna want to label them, or what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have this oriented the same way, and I'm just gonna cut one and then splice it in. And so, you know, plenty extra cable here, not a lot of cable here. I'm gonna be cutting pretty close. Turns out the wires totally do match. You can see that entirely well. So you could just cut them all, except there are two black with yellow stripes. So other than those two, you could just cut them all and match them up if you really wanted to. Like I said, I wouldn't. You may notice one of these looks different. I messed one up, had to cut it. But that's why I put them all on the new OBD first and crimped them on there, because I knew if I messed up crimping them on this short wire, I wouldn't have to cut the short wire even shorter. I could cut this long wire shorter to get the new one on. And I just worked with what I had there to get that on. It'll be fine. It really doesn't matter. So all that's left is to tape this up. You don't have to if you don't want to. I'm going to tape this up, stuff it up somewhere, and then just put this back in there where it came out, and it just clicks. It just goes straight down and clicks in. There's probably a proper way to orient it. Let's see there. Yeah, looks like it's got those two grooves on the back, so that should match up with these two grooves on the back. So it'll go like this way, straight down. Boop. Of info to note here, be very careful when you're crimping. If you have a combination crimper cutter stripper like mine, because it's real easy to not be paying attention and accidentally cut a wire. Thankfully I didn't do that, but I came close. If you have wire strippers like these, I love these. I found the best angle was right here, which seems obvious, but it took a lot of finagling. And also be careful when you're heat shrinking. Just if you're, you know, cheap like me, you just use a lighter, because there's a lot of stuff here. Finally, working with a seat in is a pain in the ass. Of course it's gonna be, but I wouldn't take the seat out for this. If you're gonna have the seat out already, like you're gonna swap it and you have to do this, then I would do this at the same time, but I wouldn't take the seat out just for this. All right, so it's up. So now it should, there we go. And we've got my code up. So there you go. Works first time now, every time. No intermittent. I used to have to pull on this to get it lined up, but works now. So cool. Next video I'll be tackling that, which that's bigger. So yeah, join me for that. Oh, note, you should probably test this before you put all the panels back on, but I like to live dangerously, so yeah.